All right, welcome back, ladies and gents, to yet another session of DF Talks Ryuji session. This is number 10 now. Wow, I can't believe we've already done 10. I remember last session I said that was 10, but I looked back, it was 9, so officially this is 10. Anyways, we're back to our light person dungeons. I have two guests with me tonight. We have one returning guest and a tag along that Emma brought along. I want to reintroduce I keep destroying your name.
Just call me
Amastasia
Alma.
D'Artagnan, and then her boyfriend Bittersweet. And I know, like I think it was in session 7 we talked about uh, girl gamers, and then at the end of that session we talked about like a little. We touched on uh, you know online relationships and stuff. So me and Emma talked after the session, and we thought, hey, that would probably be good and interesting session just to talk on its own, because that's a pretty big subject. So the reason why I brought these two people for my guests is because they actually met online through this game. So Bitter, I mean, since you're new, you feel free to introduce yourself with quick brief history, anything. Just say hi to the world and let me know a little bit about you.
Uh, Malafell started this game last year when it came out for PS3 in 2.0, and I've been enjoying it so far. Um, I met Ama on here, and we've been dating. It feels like years for me now, because I don't know.
Oh,
I
this seems a
mean, we
little
haven't.
broad. I'm a little curious. Like, how did it like start? Because obviously, most guys here you have the whole stigma. It's like, oh, girls don't play this game or don't play video games, and typically girls kind of hide that they're females. Typically, until they feel comfortable enough. Like, how did you guys like meet each other initially?
Um, I think she noticed me before I noticed her, because she was telling me how she found me on TeamSpeak.
Interesting. Emma, you're a little quiet. I'm curious. What's your side of the story?
Well, when I first joined our free company, it was my first time using TeamSpeak because I originally came from WoW, so we used Ventrilo. So I logged on one day and it was him and Rainy in TeamSpeak talking, and I was like, oh, he has a very nice voice. And then one time I was at the free company house and he was in his PvP gear. That was right, correct, babe? The PvP gear.
Oh yeah, the
And
snake set.
And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And he's like, oh, thanks for calling me on my gear. And so we just started talking.
Interesting. Wow. Well, as we all know, like in this generation, before maybe like a decade from earlier before today, online dating, like especially like websites and stuff like that, or just meeting people online overall was kind of would be considered a taboo in mainstream. But nowadays, you kind of see that it's more like socially accessible. Like nowadays, when someone's, oh, I'm online dating, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Whereas if you said that like maybe 5 years earlier, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird. How can you like talk, like meet someone and date someone like online? That's weird. But obviously, I started online dating like during those times where it was a little awkward and a little weird for typical mainstream social standards. And then my argument would be like, what's the difference between doing that and a blind date? I mean, it's almost technically the same. Going in not really knowing too much about the person. I mean, that you have an online profile, shows a little gist of what they're talking about, and I mean, just a blind date, they could lie too. I mean, what's the difference? So, I mean, to me, I don't see much of a difference unless it's like super like long distance. Uh, Out of curiosity, like how did you guys progress with your relationship? Did you guys just start talking more, or like what?
Yeah, we talked a lot actually. To like wee hours in the morning where I had to get up and go to work in like 2 to 3 hours, and I just wasn't tired. And, it's just really good conversation. And I don't know, I kind of fell for him that way, but I'll let him tell his side of the story.
Oh, I mean, I like at first. Uh, I don't really know because like when I was playing this game, I pretty much was trying to swear off from like dating online and games because like I kept trying it on other MMOs and it always ended up weird because I had a bad history with you never know what the person's hiding when
Hmm.
you're trying to hit on them online. So like I was really scared at first, but like
So this isn't your first rodeo. You've done this before. Or
yeah, I mean I've
okay.
tried it, but this is like the longest I've gone because usually I end up finding out something. Like I've had some pretty odd women that I've met over games who either they were like married and stuff in real life, but they don't want to tell it because they like the attention that guys give them on the game.
I do notice
And
that, yeah, like people try to have like they try to separate their real life and their virtual life, and they feel like even with they feel like that they could classify that with their relationships too. Like they could have two, so-called romantic relationships that would stay in game, and then they would have their real life stuff, whether they be have like a real relationship, boyfriend girlfriend, or even married. I've heard of. Oh, wow, I died. Anyways, I'm not paying attention. That I don't know if that's my fault or not. But yeah, like, why do you like? What is your thoughts on like online dating? Obviously, you do it. So like, what made you like use MMOs in particular versus like maybe just like a chat room or online like dating site or something?
well, I tried a chat room once, like a year and a half ago, but like in most of them you had to
Where's my
pay either like an enormous subscription fee or in the free ones it would take you weeks in order to get like a message back. And I don't know, I heard a lot of rumors of just like these sites just posting like just like their employees making false accounts and just taking pictures that they find
Yeah,
online of like pretty
it's
girls
true.
and stuff and just pretending to be them so they could have more people go on the site. And I don't know, I mean, it it didn't really work out. I tried. I was trying everything because like around here where I'm at, I'm in New York, even though it's like a supposedly like a city that never sleeps. There's not many gamers that you can find around here, which was very odd. Like,
It's true.
and I guess another reason why you can't find gamers is they're usually inside, so I can't go busting into women's houses and say, "Hey, you want to go hang out?"
Yeah, I mean I was about to like bring that up. It's like honestly, especially for us gamer guys and girls, like what more easier way to find someone who has the same you know uh, commonalities in terms of like playing games? Why not just try to find them in the game in the multiplayer in the multiplayer game? So yeah, that's
It's I don't know. I
sorry.
mean,
I was distracted. I
she.
thought I heard something. Sorry, outside. So where were you?
I
Sorry.
mean, it's been I don't know. It was I had very weird stuff happen while I was playing Final Fantasy 11. I tried the online date. Also, Fantasy Star Universe. It turned into like a dating game.
You know what? I could easily share. Obviously, I have my experience with online dating, and I could say I've probably I will admit 'cause I could look back at it now. I'm not proud of it, but I was one of those people like back in the day when I was kind of new to online dating and stuff, where I already had a real life girlfriend. And we were together for like 2 3 years, and the thing is that she was just one of the girls that I was just kind of with, and we didn't really have a lot of in common with. So like half the time, if we weren't hanging out, I would be playing my games and she'd be doing her own thing. And obviously, when you spend more time with people in the game, you kind of like get closer with the people you play. You spend more time with, right? So kind of like pursued an online relationship while having a real life relationship at the same time, and I tried juggling those two. Obviously, I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Obviously, it's not a good thing. I mean, in the end, it's still a relationship, and that's considered. I don't know. Would you consider that cheating? What are your thoughts on that, both of you guys?
I mean, I grew up old school, so like if you even like passed by and looked at a girl, uh, and you already had a girlfriend or something, you know, that's, I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm very like very old school when it comes to this sort of stuff because um, for me, when I was playing Final Fantasy 11, I was more into ill. You know, I don't want a girlfriend that'll take me, you know, that'll take me away from my video games and
Yeah.
stuff. And eventually, I got out of that. But then I wanted a girlfriend. I kept looking everywhere, and I noticed that in like the college that I go to, it's like there is no gamer girls in here. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? And I ended up I ended up trying to get a girlfriend in my college, but at the same time I ended up trying to find a girlfriend on Final Fantasy 14, and it didn't go so well. I sort of gave up on the whole college thing because I don't know, it's very, for me, I didn't think it would be this hard, but it's very hard to find gamer girls. Like, I
No,
looked everywhere, usually they're taken or married to somebody already.
when you were looking around, like, was your criteria, did it matter if it was like a would be a long distance relationship, or did that not
I
matter to
mean,
you?
at first, I didn't want an online relationship because when I played Fantasy Star Universe, I really wanted to get more serious with this girl that I met, but she lived extremely far away, and and I had school at the same time, so I was like, man, this is gonna suck, you know, if you try to go out with somebody who lives, you know, hundreds of miles away, and the only time you might only get to see them like once a year. I'm like, that's not really a relationship.
Yeah, and honestly, you honestly, my opinion, you need like a part of that. I'm not gonna stun that shit. Whoops. Anyways, I just feel like it's crucial to have that physical contact, like once in a blue moon, because it just feels like it just kind of like, how can I explain? It's kind of like the glue to the relationship. I feel like you need that, that physical like interaction at least at some point. Like relationships that last for like 3 to 4 years or even higher, and then without seeing each other, I feel like it's either you're a rare exception or you have something else going on that you're not telling the other person, just to kind of like keep things. I don't know. I'm not gonna assume everyone's like cheating and stuff like that, because I don't know. I just heard a lot of bad stuff based on my experience, but I mean, I just feel like it just makes it all the more difficult for that relationship to to survive. And so, Alan, what is your like views on this with like what I said earlier, and like about long distance relationships and stuff like that? I want to hear like a female like point of view with this. Be
Well,
honest. I
kind of
mean,
like touch on what Bitter said. You know, kind of like how it is with friendships. You want quality, not quantity. So I'm more of a, I'm kind of very old school as well. If I'm with someone, I'm gonna be with that person until they just get sick of my goofiness. But as far as that's concerned, yes, I'm with Bitter and I'm very happy. But before that, I was kind of steered away from online relationships because, like you said,
so
like the whole.
you've had previous online relationships, yes?
I had one, yes.
If you don't mind me asking, how did that come to an end? Unfortunately, like.
Came to an end via Jerry Springer. No. I was committed and he was not. So.
Hmm. See, yeah, I feel like
We're very smart. So.
yeah, it's true. See, I feel like the commitment part is really hard to do when you don't see each other a lot. I mean, obviously, there's always exceptions. I believe in exceptions to every rule, but like Bitter, you said you had I don't know. Did you say you did have a previous online relationship, or this is your first like
Oh no,
successful one?
I had a few where I tried, but it was like
So how did those go
it didn't.
south? Out of curiosity.
It was mostly because like I would never be able to see them really unless like I would have to pay like hundreds of dollars or over $1,000 just to visit them once a year.
So you did visit
And
them. So yeah, you took the effort to see them at least like on rare occasions.
well, no, they offered to pay a ticket, but I just couldn't do it to them because like this was back when I was in high school, and
Mm.
like I I was like, I didn't want them to spend the money because I was like, this is not going to be like any real relationship where if I'm going to only get to see you like once a year. And, how, what are we going to do when it's 3 years from now and we're still dating and we only see each other once a year? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's
I
very
see what you're
hard to
talking about.
explain to all your friends, hey, I do have a girlfriend, but yeah, I only get to see her once a year.
Yeah, I think the issue in terms of online dating, especially through like online games, and the fact that you like the really far ones, like I had the one I was talking about. I was kind of dating this one that lived in New York, and there's just no way in hell that, especially when I was still going to college, I just didn't. I tried to try to make the time, I just couldn't. Plus, I don't know, she had her own thing going on. Obviously we both had our like different separate lives going on while we were kind of talking. So it made things very difficult. And I just feel like it's like it becomes a wall or a huge obstacle for a relationship to prosper, to continue, to grow further. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the long term thing isn't at least. I guess it's not for everyone, but it seems like like you guys don't live too far apart, right? Like maybe a few states.
Yeah, we're both
Yeah,
on the East Coast.
she's like the closest girl I've ever had near me because like I tried finding like gamer girls around where I live, and they all apparently like a lot of gamer girls all live in freaking Texas or something. I don't know what's everybody living in Texas.
Oh, just face it, you wanted
Because
to take
there's
a
nothing
step
else
from
to do in
them.
Texas. Texas is boring. I didn't say that. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I don't know. I've never been to Texas. I don't know. All I know is it's just hot as shit over there, and people are like love their guns, and I don't know. You tell me. Everything's bigger in Texas? What?
I don't know. I don't live in Texas. I'm in New York, so it's just like two of the girls that I tried dating online ended up living in Texas, and I'm like, why does everybody live so damn far away from me? And then I look at all my friends, and they apparently know each other in real life, and I'm like, how? How do you find these gamer people? Like,
Yeah. Well, in terms of the medium, in terms of just dating websites and stuff. Like as I stated earlier with a previous session that I mentioned that I found my current girlfriend through an online dating site, which is called geek2geek.com. I don't know if that site's still up. I don't know because it's a pretty small site. And but luckily oh, that went through. I found my current girlfriend, and we're happily together for like almost 3 years now. She's actually coming to FanFest with me. So yeah, the other guys will get to meet her.
That's awesome.
But the thing is, we only live like 2 hours away. See, that's the thing for me. I need that physical contact. You know what I mean? I just that physical interaction. I just can't, do the thing for like 2 to 3 years or just whatever. Just like being online. I know you spend a lot of time. I guess you really know that person's personality, but I guess just for me, that's just not enough. People are different. I guess just for me, I just can't be that won't be enough for me to satisfy like what I want in a relationship. So I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
oh my god, I died.
We're relaying the
Yeah,
shit
I
through.
have
That's
this
why the
thing
stun thing.
eating me. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I agree that it. I don't know. For me, I always thought it was weird to date online until I started finding people who I had a lot more in common with online than I did in real life. And
Well, it's just a natural thing for us gamers that spend a lot of time indoors. Especially the ones who spend like because your family, I'm sure, like when you're younger and stuff, they kind of notice us. You spend a lot of time here in your computer. That's like for them, that's weird. For us, it's like to them, 2 to 3 hours on
yeah,
computer is like an eternity. For us, 2 to 3 hours that goes like and flies by like with like just feels like seconds for us. You know what I mean?
that's only a few episodes of anime, and or maybe like a
Exactly.
coil run or
So
something.
Yeah.
just the relevant, don't you ever like I don't know when
I
you're
mean,
younger? I mean, I don't know if you still live with your parents or not. Like the typical saying is like, oh, you finally left your cave, huh? Like for like dinner or something. Dude, that was like my biggest pet peeve. Like you would just crack a joke saying something about like, you know, finally leaving your room and stuff, and it would just make me want to just go back to my room and just not talk to you guys. And like, you kind of crack jokes like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I mean that
I'm
still
just
sort of
gonna go
happens
back,
with
you know.
me. I mean, right now I'm going to school, so I can have a job and like move to like I don't know a nice quiet area where I could just like enjoy my games in peace. I mean, I was thinking about being like living closer with Alma because like I don't know. I think it would be like great to be able to see her every day.
That would be fabulous.
It seems like I mean, I see you guys like, you know, around the game once in a while. You guys are always together. It's kawaii as fuck. So I mean, I can only wish the best for you guys. You know, I really like, you know, obviously, you know, I can't say much because you know I've been naughty online. You know, I have a bad past, but I mean, I could. I mean, that's my past. I'm not like the same person anymore. That's when I was in my high school days, and obviously I didn't know any better. Like, you know, obviously my relationship with my current girlfriend I take more seriously, and you know, I learned from my mistakes. So, God, I just wish I didn't mess up like I did when I was younger. But who knows?
I mean, I
You
messed
learn
up a
from your
lot
mistakes.
during online dating where. Oh wow, you're pulling a lot.
I have faith in this
You
healer
think
that
this
has.
Rogan is gonna heal you?
I'm not using cooldowns by the way.
Any,
But I just realized I haven't been using my cooldowns because I'm too
like,
distracted.
I was gonna say, like, part of the reason why Bitter and I we hang out in games so much is because we don't see each other every day, and kind of like the
Do you
game.
guys like have other mediums to talk to each other other than the game?
Oh, yes, we text and talk on the phone all the time. We do Skype. You
I
know,
think Skype
TeamSpeak.
does help a lot. Like just the
Yeah,
video chat really helps.
yeah, it does. Um, you know, we can see each other's facial expressions, and you know, it's just part of our little quirks that we have with each other, and you know, it just helps us grow as a couple.
Now, you know, out of curiosity, do you have like, I know some people have been struggling with like online dating. Do you guys have any advice for anyone who would be potentially watching this and maybe having issues with trying to find someone or like or just having issue with a current relationship they might be in? Like, would you have any? Seems like you guys are doing pretty well. Do you have any like any advice or tips?
Yes, always be 100% honest, even though if you think it may make you look bad, you always want to be honest with that person, because if you start off with dishonesty, it's gonna, you know, poison the relationship. And just be yourself. Don't try to hide yourself or just like, oh, I'm a T9 winner, I get shit done, and you're only on T5. It's okay.
T9 gets the
Hey,
ladies.
I
The high
joined and I
elegant
was.
weapons gets the ladies, right?
That's right.
I don't know what was a T9 winner.
Ooh.
Oh, you got jokes. But that's what
But
I gotta say.
How about you, Bitter?
I
What do you have to say, if anything? Like any advice for all the other male gamers maybe looking for that you know that online relationship? Because obviously you know
I
I
mean just I'd say like try to be nice to them first. Like really try not to come off as like a person that's trying to hit on them. Because like I sort of asked Alma as a joke if she was already taken. I mean, and
It was really cute.
and like I was so nervous just trying to ask her if she had a boyfriend because I'm not used to the whole online dating thing. I didn't know what to say.
dude yeah I think
Or
that's a
anything.
big issue with a lot of guys who are trying to find that relationship online through like MMOs. Seems like a lot of them tend to have they don't have the game to do it. I mean, it just seems like they just come out as creeps. You know what I mean? From what I've heard from like other like you know gamers who've been approached by other guys, you just they always feel like uncomfortable with them because of the way they're approached. You know, is that true, Emma? You know, what's your female take on this? Your female like perspective on this with other guys who I assume you've been hit on before. So like, what are
Yeah.
some pretty bad examples of guys hitting on you?
Oh, goodness
Oh,
gracious.
kill him! No, I'm just clearing my throat.
Um, wow,
This
what did
is
I do
past, Glitter. This is past.
there? Kind of like, you know, like, oh, you're a girl, you don't know how to do this, let me help you. Oh, you're so pretty, or they'll emote you like some X-rated stuff, and you're just like, whoa, what the hell? um,
So what would be the big like top five like if you could list like top five no-nos of know what not to do when you're trying to like you let's say a guy finds someone that he's interested in, like it's obviously a girl and he may be a little
mhm.
interested in her, like what would be a good way to approach her and what would not be a way to approach her, like what are some tips you could.
um, Female gamers, like I said, we do exist, but however, we don't earn the respect, or not earn the respect, but we don't get the respect that we deserve. So always when you talk to a female gamer, give her the respect, like she knows what she's talking about. Don't come on overly strong casual flirting. I'm a-okay with, but don't automatically, say, hey, can I meet you this weekend? X, Y, and Z. That's a big no-no. That's a big turn off.
Has that
Um,
actually happened before? Like,
yes,
is this
it
all
has.
examples? Wow.
Yes, it has. Um, don't talk about, like, if you're seriously trying to get with the gamer girl online, don't talk about previous conquests. We are women in true, and we do get jealous. And we don't want to hear about your conquests.
Fair
Um,
enough.
Ryuji, you got me in trouble.
no, no, that's fine. um, that's the biggest thing. Don't brag. Don't think like you're better than she is. Because she could secretly be a T9 winner, and you could be a T5 winner. So,
It's funny.
yeah, it's like it all comes down to like respect for the individual. Treat her how you want to be treated is a big thing. Like
I
Bitter was
mean,
he treated me like a gentleman, and the way he flirted was extremely adorable. So,
Okay, yeah. So yeah, how did Bitter win you over? That's another good question. Like, what did he do to make you guys, you know, tie that like, move on to another level of relationships?
well, he listened. When he first initially started flirting, he used to call me Shampoo Kitty, so because I'm a Makoite, and my hair is not white, it's not silver, it's like a iridescent lilac-y color. So he called me Shampoo Kitty, and he's like, "Oh, is there a Mr. Rinse and Repeat man?" And it was
Okay,
really cute.
so obviously he tickled you in a way, like he had a good sense of humor, and okay, all right, I see.
Yeah, and
And
then
it was tasteful. It wasn't kind of like weird, perverted, like etchy related jokes. It's just like simple humor or something, I guess. So
yeah,
he made you laugh.
he did make me laugh. One of his ways of flirting was I was running T5 with the free company for my win, and one of my friends asked him, "Hey, can you come help Amma?" And he's like, "Well, I'll go if Amma asks me." So that was another little cute thing that he
sorry.
did.
I'm sorry. That's awesome, Bitter, but I don't know. That made me laugh. I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean. I don't mean any
It is really
disrespect. I just.
smooth.
I mean, like at the beginning, I wasn't like I was trying to hit on her because I was like a guy and yeah, I wanted a girlfriend. But at the same time, I was really nervous because in the back of my mind, it was sort of like, dude, what are you doing? You know how online dating goes. It's like you don't even know where she lives. She could be in freaking China. It's gonna end up like your old relationships, and then I don't know. That sort of part of you is like, but what if she's the one? She plays video games. She's weird like me. Oh my god.
Hey, love is all about risks. You know, what I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere if you don't take any risk. If you don't try, you always. Okay, for me, this is how I see things. But that goes along with any decisions you make in life, not just like in love. I mean, making decisions. Once you make the decision, you commit. I mean, I'd rather try and fail and already know the outcome of what happened, rather than not try and then later on have that what if and regret. You know what I mean? Because you're always gonna have that what if in the back of your head. Like, what if I just try? Who knows what would have happened? I would have rather tried all my potential possibilities then not at all. You know what I mean? At least that's
Yeah,
how
Yeah,
I
most
see it.
definitely.
I
And
mean, like,
the worst thing that could happen is it doesn't work. You know,
I
or
pretty
say no.
much talked to her that day until like, it was like so late. Like she ended up having to go to work. She was like, I gotta go to work in like 2 hours. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This was like at 4 or 5 in the morning,
Okay.
and like I didn't want to get off the phone, and the next day we ended up doing the same thing and again until finally I started cutting our conversation short
Oh no,
because
you
I was
hang
like,
up.
she's gonna end up
No,
going to
no,
the
you hang up.
hospital.
Exactly.
I don't want to say bye. You say bye. God, I remember those days. Anyways, obviously it's way past the duty finder time, duration time, and I had to end this session. Else we're just gonna keep talking. Obviously, just like what happened in our previous session, Amma. So,
Yeah.
any final thoughts, Amma? Any final thoughts, Bitter? Anything you want to say? Any last statements before we end this tonight?
Well, I wanted to say a little something, like with gamer girls, guys, you have to be very careful because there are some nice gamer girls, but there are a lot of girls who have caught on to knowing that guys would do anything for a gamer girl, including
Mm-hmm.
go bankrupt, help you with whatever you need. I don't know if guys don't notice this or they're just blinded by, oh my god, that's a gamer girl. That
There's a lot of
if
gullible
a
guys out there
guy
that get taken advantage of. That's true.
Well, yeah, if a guy asks for help, a lot of times, in their guilds or whatever, they'll be quiet. Nobody will go and help them. If one girl says, hey, can anybody help me with something? And it could be something extremely time consuming, and you'll see like an army of guys be like, sure, I'll help you. And just don't be that guy.
I
Find a
fully
girl who
agree.
actually doesn't want your help.
You see, I mean, you see already in Twitch, man. You see guys do donations for to make girls like do anything, dance on stream. I'm like, come on, you're paying that chick. Obviously, you're getting entertained and you're paying for entertainment, I guess. But obviously, that chick is taking advantage of the fact that she may have cleavage. She fucking shows half her breasts on the screen. Oh man, throw cash at her, I'm like, come on, guys. Anything? Any last words, Emma?
Yes. Kind of touch on what Bitter said.
Sure.
Gamer girls, we don't need to be sucking the gamer guys dry. That's one thing I can say about Bitters and our relationship is it's very mutual. I bought him something first before he bought me anything, and we give each other in-game gifts all the time. It's not completely one-sided. I help him, he helps me. So it definitely has to be 50-50. And respect. That's all I gotta say. Treat him with respect.
I'm,
But it goes
I'm
both
like,
ways. There's a good quote by what's his name? I forgot his name. Sorry, I know he passed recently. Um, it's the man's responsibility to give a woman respect, but it's the woman's responsibility to give the man something to respect. If that makes sense. Did I say it correctly? Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I said it right, but somewhere along those lines. So it goes both ways.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
if I
anyways,
have to say to things to guys, just go after the girl who actually wants to solo stuff and do things by herself. Don't go after the girl who asks a lot of guys for help all the time.
yeah, in the end, they're just using you. I agree with that. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to cut this now. Else we're just gonna keep adding on, and we're gonna keep going because this is a really big subject that can be talked about for a long time. So, Amma, again, thank you for returning. You were an awesome guest before, and you're an awesome guest again. I appreciate you coming, special and along with her boyfriend Bitter. I hope you
No
guys had
problem. It's
fun.
fun.
And
Bye bye.
a few things before I go. Obviously, FanFest is coming next week, and actually, I just want to do a quick announcement. This video is really long already, but it's a quick announcement. Me and another friend of mine named Pax Attacks on YouTube, we are doing a little collaboration with a little fan view perspective of the festival. So please look forward to that. We're going to bring fancy HD cameras and mics and stuff. And sure, please look forward to that. And we're gonna see and try to see what I could record and bring home with me. I know there's a stream that SC is already gonna offer, but we decided to still do it because it will be our perspective and a fan's perspective. So please look forward to that. And until next time, guys, I'll try to fit in one more session before FanFest. We'll see. Thank you, guys.